Let me briefly talk about disrespect in marriages. Now, when we look at one of the book here, which I just want to look at, it is it was written by Doug Heward Miles. It's called Model Marriage. It's a marriage counseling actually. It's a book for the marriage counseling. That is a marriage counseling handbook. In this marriage counseling handbook, when we look at the very first chapter, it talks about the beloveds. And on the beloveds, what we are saying that who is a beloved, and it says, "My beloved is mine, and I am his." That's based on Songs of Solomon, chapter 2, verses 16. Now, disrespect in marriages is something that even the Bible does not condone. The Bible itself does not condone disrespect in marriages. Now, I will look at some of the verses. The very first one will be Ephesians 5, verses 33, which says, "Respect in marriage." And this is what it says: "However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself. A wife must respect her husband." You're using that. The wife must respect her husband. So this is one of the clearest verses. Now it pairs a husband's duty to love with a wife's call to respect. We are talking about here only two things here: love, respect. It is not my duty to respect. It is my duty to love. And you see, what happens is that once you love, you are automatically going to respect, because you cannot love something that you do not respect. So that already means that when a wife does not respect you, then it automatically means she does not love you. Are you getting it? That is why women were given a responsibility to respect the husband, while the husband was given a responsibility to love the wife. This already means that as a wife, you must respect your husband. So if it reaches a point whereby when you are talking, your wife talks back. When you are speaking, your wife speaks back at you. When you are, for example, advising her, she doesn't follow that advice, but she does something else. It already means she doesn't respect or value anything that you are telling her. In 1 Peter 3, verses 1 to 2, it talks about the influence through conducts. And this is what it reads: "Wives, in the same way, submit yourselves to your own husbands, so that if any of them do not believe the word, they may be won over without words by the behavior of their wives." Are you seeing that? It's called submission. That means that if I do not believe that my wife loves me, then I will be able to know whether she loves me based on how she submits. Submission is what is required of the wife. If she does not submit, then it already means that I have proven what I was thinking was the right thing, or was what I was thinking about. Because here we are talking about submission. When we look at Proverbs 21:9 and 21:19, that is the effect of conflict. It says, "Better to live on a corner of the roof than a house with a quarrelsome wife." Are you seeing that? We are just looking at disrespect in marriages. Better to live on a corner of a roof than to share a house with a quarrelsome wife. As a husband, you have come back from work. You have tried, you have worked so hard to make sure that at least something is working. You have made sure maybe they needed to pay rent. You didn't have money at the time, so you went to work. You have maybe hustled. You have done all of that. You have asked friends to help you and all of that. You have raised the money, and then you have decided you have sent the money to maybe, let's say, to the landlord or the landlady or whatever. After you have paid the rent, you come back home and you find out the wife is much more harsh to you because you never came back with food. You see, she quarrels at you. Where do you think you will feel peaceful? At the corner of the house, at the corner of the roof, or closer to the quarrelsome wife? Because you can see the whole day you've passed through hell. And again, during the night, you do not have peace at all. So it will be more peaceful for you to sleep on the roof of a house rather than being closer to this wife who hasn't even asked or doesn't even know what you've gone through to make sure that you reach where you are. In Proverbs 14, verses 1, it talks about building versus tearing down. And this is what it says: "The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down. You've seen these is a cases whereby you find a wife goes ahead and follows the advice of another woman who is not even married. So this woman brings these advices into the house. Remember, someone who is not married has options. But someone who is married doesn't have a lot of options. If you have options whereby, for example, there are people who can send you money. You have maybe 5 people who are sending you money. You are not like this one woman who only has to depend on the husband. If at all that woman doesn't have another source of income. So you see, the two of you can never be the same. But normally, women make this mistake whereby they start following this advice that they receive. See, you follow the advice that you're receiving from your fellow single friend. That is what tears down the house. Which is why I will repeat this verse that says, better to live in a corner of a roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. That is Proverbs 21, verses 9. Because this one, it uses strong imagery to show how constant conflict or disrespect can damage a home. And you see, a man who is not respected in his own house can never have peace. The wife, make sure that you respect your wife, your husband, because if you do not have a home.